Just, hang in there for a second. There. Good news. Your armor kept you mostly in one piece. So, quick update. This isn't a simulation. We're really on a ginormous spaceship. And the ship's being taken over by...
Now what are you two little gnats up to? This is to be mine. The first of many.
Okay, time to get away from all these tentacles and prying eyes. This might feel a bit weird. Alrighty then. So, how do the humans put it? I've got some good news and some bad news. On the positive side, this colony ship is still operational. Rockwell hasn't completely taken over its control systems yet. The bad news is he's diligently working on doing just that. We need to head to the nearest uplink pad and interface with the ship's various subsystems. Through a virtualized representation of those control systems, we can challenge Rockwell's efforts. If we're able to do that to enough of the subsystems, then we might weaken him enough to confront Rockwell himself, or whatever's left of him, on the ship's main bridge. Yeah. It's a long shot, but if anyone can pull it off, it's you, Survivor. Well, let's get to it then, shall we? Hello there!
Hey, welcome to Genesis, and the intro, well, that was quite a bit of an intro. I definitely have to say that I prefer the voice acting of the current Helena over Genesis 1 Helena, or just over Helena in general. I found that the Ocker accent of the original Helena was actually just over the top, and I mean, this is coming from an Australian. It was just downright annoying. It's kind of like, from our point of view, from an Australian point of view, when you have that American tourist that turns up in Australia and they're just full-blown American in your face, and you're just like, no, just shut up. Yeah, please stop. No, please just do it. Just don't do anymore. And I felt like Helena in Genesis 1 was that. Whereas this one, it's a lot more fluid. It's a lot more soft in terms of how they've approached it. But in terms of the Rockwell voice that came through from the eyeballs and how they called us gnats, it didn't quite fit the dark, evil presence of an overmind that's controlling the spaceship that we're on. I felt it was a little almost comical, and I didn't really enjoy that. But it's the only thing that I've experienced so far, so we're just commenting on what I've actually seen. Anyway, I thought I'd actually put this little video up, mainly because, yes, Genesis is released. We have our intro, we're finally into the game itself, and I love this waterfall and what is almost like a little tower and tech behind me. It's just a fantastic scene. I love it. I've seen the night sky, and there's basically meteorites that actually flow by and all the rest of it. And so the landscape on the easy spawn spots is actually just superb. And it's kind of like some of the DLC maps where they basically had some of the really nice landscape, and they copied that across into the map that we actually have here in Genesis 2. It's actually really nice, and I'm loving the fact that they've actually brought this across. And I've already dyed my armor. I have a little base over there. My base is the very first easy spawn spot is actually got no metal, which is actually a little bit of a problem. And I found up at that spire of a hill over there was some metal, and then we had some harder creatures. And so you just have to remember that. And it seems like they may have done a little bit of thought into the spawn locations of some of the resources, but I've had so little to do with it just so far. The main thing I really wanted to talk about, and we'll go with the angle behind me in the other direction, is I have started my own server. I've got my own private server. It is a... if I can even remember the bloody settings. Alright, so the main thing about the settings is it's a PvE server. I've designed it around people who work. So like myself, I've got kids, I work, I want to be able to jump into the server and I want to be able to achieve something on the night that I'm doing it. I don't want to spend hours waiting for a team to progress and actually finish. When I tame something, I want it to be able to finish it on the night. So the game itself actually introduced ×2 everything as a baseline, which is fantastic. So I've got ×2 harvesting, which based on the original would be ×4. And then we have our dino taming. If that's ×2, I believe they ×2 it. And I've done ×3, so we're looking at ×6 taming based on the original. So super fast in terms of those things. I wouldn't say that it's crazy fast, like we're not talking game breaking fast sort of stuff. It's just that when you bother to go out there and do something, you're going to get good resources. And then with the rest of it, I basically took the maturation and the breeding settings and I made most of them ×10. And so once you've actually got the creature and you're looking at basically getting eggs, or you're looking at breeding creatures through the other methods that are available, it should be a lot quicker. And I also put in a ×2 on the imprinting when you're doing it. So as long as you're on your game and you're there for when the imprinting is required, you would get 100% imprinting as required. Down the right hand side there we got one of those striders. I'm real keen to actually tame one of those striders. I like it. It's almost... Hang on, I'm just going to go and look at that while we can. Like, it reminds me of Horizon Zero Dawn, looking at those striders. And I mean, I love Horizon Zero Dawn, and I wish they'd actually put more tech creatures. They could have actually mimicked Horizon Zero Dawn as far as I could care. With a lot of the creatures that they have available, if they tech them up and made them look in a similar fashion and just sort of copied that look and the feel and brought them across. Because, yeah, I love it. It's good. It's great. But yes, I have this new server. If people are interested in that kind of a casual PvE experience, where you're not really expected to... Is that a beaver down there? I think it's... Oops. Anyway, you start off with a suit that pretty much allows you to do whatever. Yeah, no, it's not a beaver, unfortunately. But yeah, you get given this suit, you can do whatever. And I've created a server where I'm hoping that people who basically want a nice casual experience on a PvE server can come in and just play as they like. I haven't put in a decay timer yet, but I'm planning on putting a decay timer in. It's going to be a long period decay timer. We're talking not quite a month, but you know, maybe like 15 days worth of decay. So if you haven't logged in a couple of weeks, you'll probably lose all your stuff, but outside of that, you'll keep everything that you've got. Hello, compies. No. The other thing about the Federation suit that you get given, it's a tech suit. At the end of the day, it really is. It's not quite a full tech suit, but it's only 20 armor in each. Requires the expansion. Yeah, well, of course, those people that are playing, they're going to have the expansion. I feel that's a little bit silly. So yeah, we are here. We're in the game. It's all happening. And I have my private server. If you are interested in playing on something that I've discussed, as much as I've been rambling a little bit as I've been mucking around, just flying around and doing this sort of stuff, make sure you check out the description. I'll have a link to my Discord server, as obviously if you want to play on the server, you're going to need the password and you're going to need the IP and all that sort of stuff. And then myself and a few others are going to be modding the server. So if you actually have any troubles, you're going to need to be able to contact us if something's going wrong. And you know, given that I've only just made this little shack on release, here's my little spot. This is not going to be there probably when you log in. Even if it is, I'm going to delete it. Anyway, hopefully you're here because Genesis 2 has released and you're hyped and you're interested, and I'm definitely going to be getting into it. Hopefully I'll be able to get into some really good stuff soon. We'll get to tame some of the new creatures. We already know that Syntac, which is one of the guys that I follow, he's already just pumped out a whole heap of stuff. And I'm just like, I gotta try and avoid his videos because I don't want to see spoilers. Alright. Thanks for listening in. If you're interested, come join me on my server. Otherwise, even if you're not interested in actually joining my server, but you want to chat all things Ark, I'll see you in there. Catch you later.
Hello there.
Not hello. Goodbye.